What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Dark Horse MMA podcast, episode 3. It is June 3rd, 2020, still in quarantine. Say what's up, Giuliano.
What's good? I'm not in quarantine. I'm working, so...
Yeah, Jules just went back to work.
Yeah, back to work, guys, so...
Yeah, back to the war zone.
You gotta do what you gotta do, but...
Yes, sir. It beats doing, nothing all day, though.
Yeah, this is true.
Not that you weren't doing anything, but...
Yeah, no, I was trying to stay busy, but...
Yeah.
Not as productive as, you want all the time, so...
Too many temptations.
This is true.
Yeah, what the hell, man? Go enjoy your time. But anyways, there was a fight night over the weekend. UFC Fight Night, Woodley versus Burns. It was the first card in Vegas with the quarantine situation.
The Apex.
The Apex, it was a smaller octagon, which made some fights very interesting, mainly the main card with Tyron Woodley and Gilbert Burns, which we will get into.
The co-main too.
Yeah, and the co-main. One specific reason for the co-main. But for a lot of the fights, it definitely played in a big factor.
Yeah, it was, you couldn't really tell, watching the fights, that it was a smaller octagon, because... I don't know, just perspective-wise from TV, I guess you can't really tell, but apparently it's a bit smaller because it's used for the Contender series that Dana runs.
Yes.
Which is a series where on Thursday nights or something they do Tuesday nights they do a Contender series where it's a tournament, and whoever wins the tournament gets a contract with the UFC pretty much.
It's not really a tournament, it's just random fighters.
But you have to go undefeated.
No, you don't have to go undefeated.
Oh no?
No, it's
a talent recruitment kind of thing, right?
Yeah, it's that's literally what it is. You just Dana White's just recruiting guys for the UFC, and one guy, I remember there's one really controversial one where it's a really high-end prospect, and Dana White, he beat the shit out of a guy, and Dana White didn't recruit him, even though he was one of the best prospects in MMA, because he took some guy down with 10 seconds left.
Really?
And he's in the UFC, it's because in the UFC, if you don't finish, he wants finishes. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah, that's true.
He wants finishes.
But it's a smart move because
it's very
before, I'm pretty sure they were sending recruitment agents out to go find fighters that had talent in Brazil and in Europe and all these places. And now I think the UFC is fortunate enough to be able to even probably pay for these guys' flights to get there to Vegas. Have them fight in the Contender series and get a possible chance at signing a contract, probably a multi-fight contract.
And a couple of guys that are fighting at UFC 250 this weekend, Sean O'Malley and Chase Hooper, they were in the Contender series.
Yeah, I knew Chase Hooper was.
Yeah, I just rewatched that fight yesterday too, actually. But yeah, Sean O'Malley too. He got I think 8 million views or something for that live event, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah, Sean, the Sugar Show.
Yeah, but yes, for those fights, the first fight I want to get into was Tim Elliott versus Brandon Royval, and Tim Elliott lost by submission in the second round. And this fight kind of made headlines just because of Brandon Royval was in the post-fight interview with DC, he was kind of, even though he performed amazing and got the win in his debut, he was really upset because he didn't get a bonus, because he wasn't going to get a bonus just because he didn't put on a really great performance. In the first round, he's getting taken down, kind of getting his ass kicked. Then he managed to get the win, but he was just real upset because he knew he wasn't going to get the bonus and that he would actually have to go to work the next day.
I'm trying to make money out here, bro. I'm trying to change my life. I'm not trying to go to work tomorrow. I have to go to work tomorrow. Do you know that? I got to go to work tomorrow. That's because I didn't put on a good performance today.
Yeah, these guys, that's what
crazy.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. These guys, their entire life and income, some of them is fighting when you get to a specific level.
Especially guys coming up.
Yeah, and taking home an extra 40 G's or 30 G's from a win. I know on these kind of nights, on a fight night, it's not as big as the pay-per-views and stuff like that, but they're still kind of going fight to fight, and yes, it's thousands of dollars for the beginners and stuff like that. It might not always be enough to sustain their families all the time if they have multiple kids or whatever. A lot of these fighters, they try and obviously strive for the fight of the night or a bonus.
Yeah, they're always trying to get a finish.
Yeah, exactly, because Dana literally offers incentives to finish the fight, which is.
And that's another
awesome.
reason why, like, putting fights out during the quarantine is so easy, because a lot of the fighters, that's their main source of income. So everyone's really eager to get back into it. So that's just another reason. Like they're all really eager to get back into it, just to provide for their families and themselves and stuff. You know, they got bills to pay still.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a great debut, nonetheless, for Brandon Royval. The next fight I wanted to get into was Caitlin Chookagian.
Today, Junior.
Chookagian. She faced
Antonina.
I can say her last name though, Shevchenko, because she is
sister.
Valentina Shevchenko's sister, who Caitlin just fought and lost to.
Got smashed.
Like
Smashed in crucifix.
I posted about this on the Dark Horse page, because, like, what kind of, like, other than beating the person that beat you yourself, like in a rematch, what's the best, like, isn't that a crazy way to kind of get, not like avenge yourself, like avenge your loss? So you beat the shit out of their sibling. Like, it wasn't even close.
No, I know.
Pure domination.
But like, she still got her ass kicked.
Like, bad.
Hard, yeah. That was a good fight. That was on a big card. What card was that?
I have no idea what card that was.
It's okay. We'll put it in the edit right here.
Ding. But yeah, no, that was a heavy win. That sucks for like siblings of champions, or even like in hockey. Like Wayne Gretzky has a brother, and they're like the highest scoring brothers, and he only scored like a certain amount of points, and it was all Wayne Gretzky.
Gretzky had a brother?
Exactly. That's exactly my point.
Guys, I played hockey from like the age of 4 until like 19, and I didn't know Wayne Gretzky had a brother. Like, at all. Like, that's the first time.
We'll pull it up. We'll pull that stat.
Yeah, I guess he has a brother.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah, that kind of sucks, but whatever.
Yeah, you know what I mean, though? When that's like,
it's a good thing for Caitlin, because she just got smashed and she just got a dub. So
yeah, so
because I know she's like, isn't she in the top 5?
She's second. She's ranked second.
Yeah, so this is good to get it. She'll probably get another title fight soon, maybe.
Yeah, hopefully.
After, but if you guys see the fight, like, it was a domination. So I don't know, like, if she deserves another shot at Valentina, because Valentina's different. Like,
I'm telling you, she is going to beat DJ's record because of the lack of depth in her division.
Yeah, probably. Athlete rankings.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
It's hard to show you guys the rankings. I was like searching for pictures of it, but it's hard. So we'll kind of just like verbally say them when we're looking at the fighters, so you guys know.
So Caitlin is second,
number 2 contender.
After her, it's, I don't know, Joanne. Sorry, Joanne, but I don't know who you are. She's third, Joanne Calderwood.
Yeah, no.
I know Roxanne. Roxanne's fighting this weekend.
Oh, that's the hippie there.
Yeah, she's the one that does the crazy entrances. I'll fucking ping that up right there too.
She has a really funny nickname. What is it?
The Happy Warrior.
The Happy Warrior. Yeah,
I love it.
The Happy Warrior.
And she's
kind of scary though, you know. Like, she's like smiling all the time and stuff, and then next thing you know, she like just beats the shit out of you.
I thought it was a leg game.
We watched her. She beat the shit out of.
She was the biggest underdog in the card. Felicia Spencer. No, not Felicia Spencer. Macy Barber. Yeah. She's a big prospect. And
everybody was talking bear about this girl Macy and how young she was. I think she's like 21 or something like that.
Yeah, she's really young.
Yeah, and
she hurt her leg or something, and then she
got brutalized.
No, but she injured her leg.
Yeah, in the fight.
Yeah, then she got brutalized. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good fight though.
So the next fight was Mackenzie Dern and Hannah Clifford. Mackenzie Dern was returning from giving birth too. She had a little bit of a layoff.
That's crazy that these women are moms on the side.
That's unbelievable.
She probably just did a fight camp after like giving birth.
Yeah.
Like, yo, shout out to the moms in the UFC. That's crazy.
I know, that shit's nuts. And there hasn't been a mom UFC champion too.
There hasn't?
That's why like the Karate Hagi, she always like tries to promote that when she's on a tear. She wants to be like the first mom champ. No, there's the like dad champ from
Yeah,
DC and
yeah,
shit.
yeah. A lot of dads, like Kamaru has a daughter and stuff. Like,
but she got the first ever, I think, leg lock submission in the UFC for a women's weight class, which is pretty cool. I think it was a knee bar, I want to say. But yeah, no, she was getting pieced up on the feet.
Yeah, her dad is a jiu-jitsu legend.
Jiu-jitsu legend, yes.
So.
But yeah, that was cool to see, and it was interesting because she has struggled to make weight for her division in the past. Like she's missed, I believe it was as much as 5 pounds, which is like
that's big. That's big. But yeah, no, it's crazy that she got a leg lock victory. That's it's hard to do. Like when you're grappling no gi and you have like I would say like no gloves on, it's probably a bit easier.
Mm-hmm.
She's #1 ranked BJJ, IBJJF. That's crazy, guys. I'll put a picture of her doing jits. Like, she's like really developed in the jiu-jitsu game too. That's crazy.
Okay, anyways,
she's a black belt.
Yeah, she's a killer on the mat, and it was interesting because when she was on the mat and she wrapped up Hannah's leg, Hannah like was still engaging, and like if I was Mackenzie, I'd be like, are you serious? Like, you don't know my resume? And then she just snatched her leg up. So
yeah, and that's the cool thing about the UFC and the BJJ people that go into the UFC. Like, it got really famous back in the day, but then, you know, you see people that you don't necessarily think would win a fight or are lacking in the striking, and then a
very
fight
deceiving.
ends like, yeah, it's very deceiving. Like,
that's why I love jiu-jitsu.
Even the last podcast we talked about the Michael Johnson lock. How he got submitted with like same kind of thing, knee bar.
Yeah, just ran up to him, pulled guard. And
took him down. And just ended the fight. And it's not even like a brutal way of.
And he was getting pieced up on the feet too.
Yeah, exactly. It's not even. It's not even about taking shots. It's like if you can get a takedown or if you can, you know, pull guard and pull a sweep like that, like that's crazy. That's so cool.
Yeah,
that BJJ is so prominent.
And it's like guys in class, like it's usually like the nerdiest looking guys are the most dangerous, which is like the funniest. They're so quick. We're gonna get into jiu-jitsu more,
BJJ
but that's just like a funny kind of fact about jiu-jitsu. It's just like you go to a regular lifting gym and you just see meatheads and you're like, oh, if you don't do any martial art, you're like, oh my god, that guy's so scary. But then going back to the gym we lift at, after going to combat where we train, you look at everyone like, oh my god, these guys are such like these guys don't know anything, and they just like you could tell that they just think they're all tough and shit.
And it's
like, oh man,
brute strength does not beat technique.
Means you get tired faster.
Brute strength does not beat technique. That's a huge point for the jits game.
It's just like.
You can be as strong as a horse, but if you don't know what you're doing, you're gonna get fucked up. That's the thing.
I'm more scared of the smaller purple
guys.
That will just like
the guys that are like skinny and they can move fast. Those are the scariest fuckers.
Yeah. If you have long
guys that are half my size are fucking.
The more lanky you are, the better for jiu-jitsu. You can snatch limbs up way quicker with that.
Yeah.
But. Anyways,
we'll get into that.
We will get into that
topic.
Yeah. So the next fight was Roosevelt Roberts and Brock Weaver, and Brock Weaver is he was I don't know if he's the first Native American, but I know he was on the Dana White Contender Series. He had a really I guess you could say motivational post-fight interview that really persuaded Dana to sign in him too, because he had a great attitude. He had a great. He was funny. It was just like a great character.
Fight,
so there's a lot of animosity going into this fight because Roosevelt. I don't know if you know this, but there was like a fake Twitter account of him.
Okay.
And and everyone thought it was real, and it was like talking bare shit to Brock because Brock, a while ago he made headlines for being for letting like dogs fight, like Michael Vick.
Yeah.
That kind of shit. Like he posted on his IG. When he had like 10,000 followers a while back. It's like something that blew up from the past, which is really fucked up because, you know, if you fuck with animals, especially in the social media age, you're gonna get shit on completely because that is really fucked up to do.
Yeah,
and especially with
dog fighting is a little bit fucked up.
It's really
not a little bit, a lot.
Yeah, and then, you could see it, even in the face-off, they were talking shit to each other. And Brock Weaver missed weight for this fight,
so it didn't count.
Yeah, so he got fucked up regardless. Roosevelt, this is the first fight I watched of him. He had great striking. He was a longer guy, bigger guy. He just ended up snatching his neck, I believe, in the second round. And then the next one is Bailey Quarantino or Colatillo and Spike Carlisle, which was the Alpha Ginger, who has the funniest laugh.
I think that was one of the best fights.
That was a good fight, and there's one funny part of that fight was when, you know, and there's 10 seconds left and they do the clap thing, and then he thought Spike Carlisle thought the fight was over. He got up and he started walking to his corner, and there's still time on, so the guy just went behind him.
Oh,
it was like a street fight. It was so
he
funny.
Literally socked him from behind. Yeah,
that was funny.
Yeah, with like a haymaker.
I don't even understand how that can happen, because unless he was just concussed. But,
he probably didn't even know what was going on.
Yeah, because there's no fans or anything, so it's not hard to hear. Even
that's crazy. I know, guys. Like, there's still no fans there.
Tim Elliott was even saying in his corner, he was like, "It's too fucking quiet in here." Like those are his exact words. It's funny.
Yeah, it changes the fight game. Like, guys, it's like fucking. The corners can hear each other.
Yeah.
The fighters can hear the analysts at the tables, the commentators. Like, everyone can hear. It's like being in it's like being in this room.
It honestly
it's like quiet.
And I think that might have played a factor in the Tim Elliott fight, because he's a vet, and the guy he was facing was making his UFC debut, and he's used to fighting in front of no fans.
Oh.
So Tim Elliott was kind of like, he acknowledged it. Just seeing him acknowledge it in the corner, kind of like, it was just, I don't know.
What are you gonna do? That's the way it's gonna be for a while.
Yeah, I know, unfortunately, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
I'm grateful there's still fights going on, at least.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
This is like
the positive.
Christmas, guys.
Exactly. So then the co-main was Blagoy Ivanov and Augusto Sakai. Shout out Brock University.
Yeah.
Sakai. If you go to Brock, or if you win a Brock,
you know Sakai.
You know Sakai. I'm not going to go into it because
it's basically like the website that you log into with your student user ID.
You see your courses and all that boring shit.
Yeah.
That's in the past.
Your assignments.
Yeah, the assignments
that are due.
But yeah, no, it was a good fight. Blagoy Ivanov is a guy who's Derek Lewis says has booty holes in his chest, which is from getting stabbed in a bar fight.
Yeah, this guy's a savage, man.
He's tough. He's tough.
He's just a savage to have a stab wound in the front of your body and the back of his body.
Dude,
we saw one on the back when we were watching it, and it was like, oh. Okay, this guy's made it of steel, I guess.
Yeah, that's crazy.
He probably just took the knife out of his chest and was just like, fuck that. The fuck is that? Get the fuck out of here. Stab me again, I dare you. Like, what?
But yeah, that was a sick fight. There was one instance where, I'm pretty sure it was Ivanov was taking down Sakai, and Sakai grabbed the fence.
Yes, that was super controversial. DC screamed it at the top of his lungs. He's like, oh, he's going to the fence, you can't do that, you can't do that.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, so do you penalize him? Did the judges hear DC scream?
And it was a close fight.
It's a close fight.
Usually, it was so blatant. Usually it should have been usually it's a point or something like that. But
and Brock University, buddy, won.
Yeah,
so
Brock University took the dub on that one.
Yeah, we were actually like, oh, who won this fight? Like, when we were waiting for the decision, so because it was pretty fair. So it could have been Buddy stab wound guy, because he did do a lot during the fight. It's just that he kind of got outstruck, I would say, because he got a takedown. He was ground and pound, and then got back up to the feet. the heavyweights, they clinch a lot, so they're on the fence a lot. It's like kind of a slower fight, but because it was standing most of the time, the Augusto guy, he had a lot better striking.
Yeah, it was. He just got he got outstruck, but then
And his cardio was higher. Like he threw 160 strikes, and the other guy threw 125.
Yeah, and then the other guy just took him down once. So what are you gonna do there?
One
Shit happens.
takedown,
That's why you can't think of it, the judges. And yeah, what are you gonna do? And then the main event
was a really good performance by Gilbert Burns.
Gilbert Burns and Tyron Woodley.
I honestly think that Tyron Woodley was the exact same way that he was in the fight against Usman. Like he was just
anything.
Yeah, just like timid, like not
worried.
Yeah, worried. Like he didn't want to go in and do his like explosive shots and like drop his head and like hit the guy, and like maybe it's because like I don't know, but he did take.
He's also 38. Before when we broke this fight down, we didn't realize he was 38 years old, and I thought he was more around like 35, but 38. You know, you're on the tail end of your career, so who knows how much that had a factor. He was also had I don't know how many years or months or whatever.
Yeah, it was like 2 years off. Yeah, 2 years. He hasn't fought since he lost the title fight to Usman, so it was his first fight back.
And Gilbert Burns has been active. He does the grappling matches.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah,
we literally talked about that, and then in his post-fight interview, he was like, "I stay active, and I think that's better for me is like doing no-gi and like running tournaments like a couple times a month." And Sal D'Amato.
Yeah, it's like with Woodley, shout out Brendan Shaw, because in his podcast I watched, he basically the game's evolving so much that in the 2 years that Woodley's off, like he's gonna
miss fighters that are
because
coming
like think
through.
about it, like the kids that are training martial arts right now, they're coming up and they're gonna be savages that are just gonna manhandle these guys. Like go like. I don't like just like the Woodleys of the world, you know what I mean? Like if Woodley,
Burns looked really like scary, like he was confident, like he was just playing the fight game, you know, like these guys, like it was a decision, right? So he went 5 rounds, and after the fight he said that he was good to like keep going. He's like, oh, my cardio is blessed, like I could have went another like 5 rounds, and he actually meant it. You can see like he wasn't huffing and puffing or anything. He just fought well. Yeah, he didn't slow down. He fought well. Just fought through the fight.
He dropped Woodley in the first round, had him hurt.
Yeah, he put the gash over his eye. He had this massive gash. We'll put the pic right here. But yeah, he had this massive. So they stopped. It was weird because like watching it, there was like a huge cut like right over his eye, like this big. And then instead of it being red, because they cleaned it up so well in the after the first round, it was like white because of the Vaseline. So I asked. I remember.
I know exactly where you're gonna go.
I was like, is that his fucking skull sticking out of like his fucking skin? Like I thought it was his skin was like opened up to the point where you can see your skull, but because the Vaseline kind of like covered the gash, and the gash like his white skin was like showing, I thought the white was like his skull because there was no blood, and I was like, okay, so he's just so cut open, because like, you know, like if you don't have a lot of fat over your eye, like if you touch this, it's really just like a thin layer of skin. So I'm like, oh my god, that's his skull. But I don't think it was. They just stopped the bleeding.
And I don't blame you for thinking that, because do you remember that one fight where the guy was checking leg kicks? I posted it. Yeah. So you literally would see his shin bone. Paul Felder.
Oh, Felder right here.
Felder said it perfectly. Yeah, I will put a caution before that. So, Paul Felder broke that down so funny. He's like, yeah, just in case you don't know the human body, that's what's called a shin bone, and it's literally his shin is split open, and you could literally see his shin bones. I didn't blame Jules at all for thinking that, because I thought that too. They're savages, man. That shows how tough these guys are.
They're tough.
But another thing I wanted to say about Woodley is I saw a fucking hilarious meme about it after the fight. It was like, when Woodley can't land his overhand right, which is his patent move, I guess. It's something he really relies on, and it's just like a close pic of his face, and he's just like sweating so much because that's all he was doing. He wasn't doing anything. Burns took him down too, and I thought that was going to be a huge X factor if he was going to be able to take Woodley down. He timed One time when Woodley was rushing in to throw a combo, which he usually does, which he used to knock out Robbie Lawler. He timed it perfectly. He timed a double leg perfectly. Took him down. I'm not sure if he took him down from the clinch or not with a trip, but Gilbert Burns looked amazing. His striking looked amazing. He actually jumped up from number 6 to number 1, which I didn't know how the UFC would do that with the rankings, because sometimes with the rankings doesn't really make sense. But yeah, he is the number 1 contender now.
Crazy. He's teammates with Usman, so
yes,
he said, I don't want to fight Kamaru, but I want to fight for the title. Like, it's one of those things where, like, it's more business than anything.
Yeah, he's like, Kamaru, I have so much. It was all respect.
Trained together.
It was all respect. He said, I have all the respect in world feud, but I want to fight for the title. And then what are you gonna do?
Before we move on from this fight, he got outstruck 83-28. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah. 83-28.
That's like Tyron Woodley used to be the welterweight champ for like over
2 takedowns.
How many years was it?
I don't know. I'm not too sure. I know he defended
a lot of defenses, like 4 times, like 3-4 times.
Maya Thompson twice.
Darren Till,
that's it. 4.
Yes, yeah. I said it. Yes, I knew that. Let's go, guys. The MMA history.
Didn't need to Google that shit.
Let's go. The MMA history's getting there now.
Yeah. Yeah. So another topic I wanted to touch upon was, because apparently, I think we talked about last podcast. Diaz Masvidal, right?
Oh, if they're gonna do a second fight.
Yeah. So what I thought would make sense. Tell me if you agree. Burns Edwards for the next shot, while hopefully, fucking fingers crossed, that Masvidal and Usman actually happens, and then I don't know, Colby and Woodley can fight now. That'd be perfect. I think that would be perfect.
Yeah, because then Colby and Woodley would get closer by beating either
and that would sell too.
And then Burns and Edwards kind of deserves the title shot, you're saying, but maybe one more fight against the number 1 contender.
Just because he doesn't really have that big of a name, too.
Yeah, but he's been there for time.
Yep.
And then Usman Masvidal.
Yeah, and then
title defense for Kamaru.
And I posted that Masvidal tweeted out. He said that the contract negotiations were like not going well for some reason. And fuckery. So
they want money now. These guys want crazy money now.
Yeah, and it's interesting because the UFC's they're losing so much money. They're not making any gates. There's no fans.
I know, yeah, that's what it is. They can't book the money fights because...
Or you can't pay...
Yeah, they can't pay the fighters what they want because they're not getting the gate from the pay-per-view.
Yeah, exactly.
Very true.
Yeah, I think that would make sense. I think that would be interesting. I pray that Usman and Masvidal happens. That'd be a sick fight. But yeah, another thing was we're kind of having a little segment of our Jules, his sister's boyfriend Sam, with his gambling.
Yeah, Sam lost more money.
Yeah,
because he tried to hit a parlay for what was it? Even
I think it was Sakai. No, because even a loss.
Oh yeah, Sakai and Woodley. So Woodley got
Sakai, Woodley, and like Dern or something.
Yeah, no, he got the first ones, a couple.
He got the first 2,
and then Woodley lost. So so I thought Woodley was gonna win too, to be honest. And then Gilbert Burns was the dark horse. Exactly why we have the name of the podcast. Crazy.
But yeah, and another thing, the smaller cage played into a factor too. He was able to push the pace more, be in Tyron's face. Yeah,
and not let him be explosive.
I'm really high on Gilbert Burns, so
he did well.
It's gonna be an interesting fight. If he fights Leon, that'd be sick. Sean Shelby, call me for a job. I'm open. But yeah, so the next topic is John Jones vacating the title because he tweeted out a bunch of shit. Him getting into beef with Dana White. They never had a really good relationship to begin with.
Blah blah.
Dana White saying he wants Deontay Wilder money, which is like 30 mil, which is fucked. Only McGregor can make that kind of
money,
that kind of bread. And he even said it's not about your GOAT status. It's about how much you can sell, which is true. That's why like Mike Perry is fucking headlining fight nights and he sucks. Even though he's an entertaining fighter. So, and John Jones right now isn't the most entertaining fighter, but
I think he's lying.
He's bold. It's just a negotiation tactic all day. It's the same thing on Dana White's part. It's all negotiation tactics. Regardless, that fight is not going to happen.
Yeah.
It's not going to fucking happen.
I think basically what's happening is the quarantine is also affecting the fighters. And McGregor's like, oh, I should fight Silva. I should fight this guy. I should fight this guy. I should fight... And then John Jones too. I'll fight Ngannou for a super fight. Let's do it. Let's just run it. And it's like, okay, but are any of these fights actually going to fucking happen? No.
Yeah.
They're not. So it's like, talk about contention. Talk about who's gonna fucking fight for a title. That's why the events that are going on are legit. Do you want to know? We don't have to go into the next one right away.
What?
This one. I'm just saying, like, 250 is a title fight, right? Like, it fucking makes sense. It's not fucking Silva McGregor super fight. It's like an actual card for contention. Like, you know what I mean?
Only McGregor can do that stuff.
Ask for that kind of money, make that kind of money.
Not even that, but headline an event without a title, like against him and McGregor.
Yeah,
him and Cerrone, sorry.
And be like the biggest fight of.
Yeah, he's the only one that can headline a period. He's done it multiple times. Him and Diaz twice. You know what I mean? He's done it 3 times.
Yeah.
So, John Jones, you're not McGregor, but yeah.
Sorry, bud.
It's not happening.
What's next on the list?
The fan question.
Yeah. It's pretty simple for me, but we got a question in the comments. We're gonna answer all of those because we're interactive. Adam, our boy Ruthless, he asked us why UFC over one championship or Bellator, I guess any other,
I think it was more one.
Yeah, one championship.
He's a big one guy.
Yeah, he does like the one championship, and I lived with Adam last year, so we watched most of the UFC stuff, but I know he followed the one championship. I don't watch any of it. I don't even know too much about it, in all honesty. So I really fuck with the fighters that Dana picks. Like, I think that they're entertaining people. Like the character of them, the nicknames. Like, it's just, the roster is fucking awesome and it's entertaining as shit. Like, I wouldn't have gone into MMA period if it wasn't for the UFC. I was watching UFC before I did any jits or striking. I started Muay Thai at the gym that we went to, so I would have never done that stuff if I wasn't watching like all the events and getting into it through the UFC. So I think UFC all day long.
For me, first of all, one championship is based in not Thailand. I don't know where it is.
Who knows?
It's basically not in our fucking time zone, and I think the fights happen at like either really early or really late. So basically, doesn't just for that alone, it's hard to follow. It's like us following the Premier League or Real Madrid or Barcelona or stuff like that. So for that you have to be really extremely invested, and especially if you have already the prime time UFC mixed martial arts. They're the NHL of mixed martial arts, I guess you could say. I don't know.
But Max Kellerman said that nobody cares about hockey. Mention that quickly.
Yeah.
Fucking douchebag.
Yeah.
Fuck you. Who the fucking Canada rules? And fuck you. We're not in the States. So, yeah, exactly. Fuck that guy. He's a fucking commentator.
Yeah, that guy's a dork.
He's an opinionated asshole, just like us two.
But yeah, one champion. They're
losers.
They do have like really high-end talent. I know that's how we got the curly-headed fuck, Ben Askren. We traded DJ for Ben Askren. I've never heard of a trade in mixed martial arts before, but that happened, and then he got flying kneed by Masvidal. That was just hilarious. I know,
biggest knockout in fucking UFC. Whoa!
something I want to say really quick about that I still have trouble sleeping over is my sister Caitlin, shout out Caitlin, and Jer, they asked me last minute. I know one of their friends wasn't able to go to a Nav concert, in case anyone, whoever the fuck knows who Nav is, because I didn't know who Nav was at the time. And I was like, yeah, sure, I'm not doing anything. I'm like, whatever, I'll just miss the fights, I guess. And
this guy didn't give a shit about Nav.
When he came on, first of all, I'll just get over this quickly. He came on stage and I didn't even know who the fuck he was, and he was the headliner. So, anyways, and then I saw the next morning that it was the fastest knockout in UFC history, that Masvidal and Askren in that fight. So, and I was so hyped for that fight.
And you missed it.
That was the only fight I cared about, and that shit happened, and I am traumatized about it. That shit.
Fuck you, Nav.
Freaking, yeah, I'm still bitter with Caitlin about that shit.
What are you gonna do?
Whatever, man. It's in the past. But yeah, anyways, I know with one championship, Eddie Alvarez even went over to one who McGregor had the cleanest title performance against. Pieced him up. Like he actually lost in his debut at one, so that just proves alone that one has great talent. But then he I think he's the champ now in one in his division in lightweight. If not, I don't know. I don't follow it, so I can't
Who
really
the
speak
fuck
for them.
knows, bud?
And then Sage Northcutt fucking broke his skull in the first like 30 seconds of his debut fight at one.
Oh,
against
nice.
Not Houston Alexander.
Oh,
I don't
nice.
know what his name is. I forget. But yeah,
that's good.
His skull literally was broken from a punch. Nice. So that says enough about that. And he's a pretty boy, which makes it even funnier.
They're probably punching like steel out
crazy,
there, so.
Crazy. But yeah, so that's kind of why it's hard to follow something that's not in your time zone to begin with. So, anyways, shout out Ruthless. He will kick you in the face.
He's a fucking
at a bar
black belt.
if you're a douchebag.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
He's a fucking black belt in Taekwondo. So
yes, he's
we'll just
one of our
say
good
that.
friends. Yeah, shout out Ruthless. Okay, now for the big boy topic that we've been wanting to get into. It is how we got into mixed martial arts and jiu-jitsu. Juliana.
Me first.
It would be an honor. Let's hear it, buddy.
Okay, so pretty much I would say I got into it from you, obviously, but also my cousin Lou. Shout out Lou, because he
Absolutely.
doesn't have Instagram anymore, but he has YouTube, so he's gonna fucking watch
His
this.
YouTube?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, YouTube Music.
Yeah,
they
so,
share the
yeah.
same YouTube Music.
He added me to his family, so because I was liking things on his YouTube Music that he didn't even want on his playlist and shit. So he gave me my own account. Anyway, so he goes to TriStar, which is a gym that GSP, the fucking GOAT, who we talked about last podcast as well, goes to, and he does no gi rolling jiu-jitsu there, and he used to do gi at Gracie Baja, so that's another really reputable jiu-jitsu academy, and they're all over the States. They train like Caitlin Chikugan, like we were talking about earlier, she trains in New York at Renzu Gracie, so they're a huge family, they whatever, and Lou got into it first as well. And I went to some classes of his, I watched it. I went to TriStar, and I did a bodybuilding workout, and I didn't roll.
A bodybuilding workout at TriStar.
At TriStar gym, because I was like, oh, I just need a place to lift, where can I lift? He's like, oh, just come to my gym, and I was like, okay, cool. Got in for free, and I lifted with Rachel, and like fucking, they have a cage there. It was crazy. Anyways, I was like, oh, that's fucking dope. And then I really got into it. I remember like around McGregor, Khabib, a little bit before that, I would say. So what was that, 2019 or 2018?
So we're in third year.
2018.
Whatever that was.
So yeah, around 2018, and I was like watching all the fights, like the main fights, and then Khabib and Conor came around, and that was like something that I just
biggest fight in UFC history.
Yeah, it was like a fucking movie, man. Like I love Khabib's sayings.
Yeah,
he'd always be like, I'm gonna smash your boy.
I'm gonna smash your boy, guys. I'm gonna smash your boy.
I come here for smash this guy. That's my favorite one.
Yeah.
He's like,
we reference that all the time.
all the time. Like I think that's one of the best lines. I come here for smash this guy.
Yeah.
Like that's it, you know. Like, and I'm like, fuck.
I'm gonna smash his face.
Yeah,
let's talk now. Even in the fight.
Khabib is so fucking real, guys. Tony was talking shit about how he's a street thug and whatever, and that shit like never happened. The fight never happened. But Khabib, I watched Khabib. I'm like, fuck, this guy's real, man. Like he grew up in the streets, and I had just I went to Italy last summer, and I'm from the mountains like of Sicily, like where I drove to where my family lives is like there's fucking nothing there, and I'm picturing Dagestan kind of the same way, like run down, very small towns, and that's whatever they have there to do is what they do, and that's it. And for Khabib, it's fighting and it's wrestling, and he's in the mountains just focusing on this, like, and I'm like, fucking, he's fighting bears. We'll put a picture or a video of Khabib fighting fucking bears. So he fights bears. I'm like, this guy's fucked up. Fucking smashes McGregor after all I'm hearing about is how sick McGregor is. This guy loves him, posters in his room, and we were at university and shit, and I was like, oh, McGregor's like sick, and I thought he was like untouchable, and then Khabib smashed him, and then I really got into UFC after that when Khabib fought Poirier, and then I was hooked. So that's probably when I was like hooked on MMA, and then
there's a snowball effect once you get hooked.
Yeah, and then it was like I fucked with Khabib's grappling, and I was like, well, my cousin grapples, my best friend grapples. Michael was really getting into it, and I'll tell the quick story about how I saw Michael change, because I've known Michael since like fucking grade 9, so it's been time. When we were in grade 9, 2012.
I'm gonna look for the tweet. I'm gonna look for the tweet that started it all.
Yeah,
I'll put it right there.
That's crazy. But this guy, we started working out together, and
I basically put up a tweet, and he responded saying to work out with him, and then that's how we became friends with him.
Yeah, and then like to see Michael's confidence, like I saw Michael's confidence grow throughout high school, but a real big switch was like when we went to university and we lived all with the boys, and we would like, I don't know, like tickle Michael, fuck with him, like, jump on his bed.
I'm used to living with all women basically, so I'm more on the reserve side.
Yeah, Michael would just be in his room chilling, you know.
Chill. I would hang out with the guys.
Jagger, we'd come like fucking pest him, like piss him off and shit, and then we would all like, I don't know, like tickle him or like poke fun at him and shit, and just fucking whatever, like pretend to punch him, and then
that's why I went home every weekend.
Yeah, and then this guy goes to the UFC gym for like a month or two in the summer, and comes back, and I don't know what he was doing. He was just like fucking up the boys every time they went near him, and it just like instantly changed, and it was like.
That's 2 months.
Yeah, then nobody went near Michael. It was like you didn't want to touch him. Like you were just like, if I touch this guy, my arm's getting broken, or we're getting choked or something, you know? Because we knew that he did jiu-jitsu, and because we watched UFC, like we understood the level of mixed martial arts. Like they say in jiu-jitsu that when you do one class, then you can take out and submit or beat the shit out of 90% of the population.
You have a crazy advantage over.
Yeah, you have like a crazy advantage over just an average person. Like, especially if, this is what Joe Rogan says too, and I love this. He's like, if you get in a street fight and you know jiu-jitsu and you do no-gi and whatever, like you're fucking blessed. Like you can submit someone. If the guy has a hoodie on, fucking forget it. The guy's getting killed because the hoodie kind of like represents the gi.
Yeah, you can do cross strokes and shit. Oh my god.
But he's done. You know what I mean? My
favorite thing with that was one of his guests. He had a comedian on. And he was like saying he wants to, get into shape and like self-defense. And he asked Joe, he's like, oh, so what's the practical use of jiu-jitsu? Clip right there.
What's the practical use of jiu-jitsu? Well, if you and I were in a fight, that would kill you.
Yeah, that's.
And he said, Joe Rogan said, he's like, well, if we ever got into a fight, I would kill you. That's the practical use.
Literally.
And that's fucking the truth.
So
that is the truth.
And that because my cousin was saying there's an aura, right? When you know this art, like this like, you know what I mean? Like it's like this Brazilian thing, like even all the other martial arts are like from Asia, like in all different Asian countries, like Thailand, Muay Thai, and all that stuff. It's like a spiritual thing, and I could see that, and I'll be honest, I didn't have a connection to my spiritual self at all. Like I I was struggling to connect my mind, body, and soul. I was like more mind and body, like very mind strong and body strong, but not spiritually strong. And we're not going to talk about religion, especially with me. So it for me, the martial arts spirituality really gave me like a different perspective on life in general.
A lot of life lessons.
A lot of life lessons.
Yes.
And like for me, I knew that I could learn those things, and I wanted to go from, and it was around when I started my job as well, where I went to a harder industry. I did the transition from your typical meathead store, supplement store, to like a naturopathic, doctor recommended supplement dispensary, where you were giving completely different advice, completely different knowledge. And I was a student again, because with working out, like I had studied so much, I knew so much, but I thought, like, not that I thought, but it gets to a point where like you need to somehow continuously learn. And I was like, not that I was feeling like I was learning everything about exercise, but like I felt like I needed to open up another avenue for that. And martial arts and boxing and Muay Thai and my kicks and improving my flexibility, and for BJJ, like, you know, balancing out my body instead of having a bodybuilder tight, you know, body. Like I tried to change, I tried to become an athlete. I started skipping, and it made the gym fun for me again. I was hitting the bags at World Gym. Like nobody hits the bags at World Gym. It's a big thing.
It's like you can only do so many supersets.
And like bullshit. I fucking bodybuilded for like 6 years to 8 years, guys. Like non-stop fucking training. I would say I trained over 300 plus days a year for like the past 6 to 7 years. No joke. So for me, like my joints, all this stuff, like obviously in jiu-jitsu your joints are at risk and stuff, but for me it was like a new passion, like a new avenue to open up. And it was cool because, you know, Michael never like lifted serious. Like when we met, he didn't have a gym membership.
Shape, really. That's all it really was.
Yeah, well, no, you didn't. Like I was like one of the first grade 9s with a gym membership. So you were like, what gym should I join? And I was like, yo, reach here. Like my dad taught me a bunch of shit. Like I'm like, I know I can help this guy because he wants to have hard workouts. Because he said, because he wasn't playing hockey, he wanted to work out and like still be in shape. And I was like, okay, dude, like we can definitely do that together. And yeah, then he kind of inspired me to open up that avenue of my life where it was like bodybuilding only, supersets, this, that, whatever, to like now at my gym we're doing mitt work, we're doing striking, we're grappling, all these kinds of things that we're doing drills from combat that I would have never pictured myself doing like a year ago. I would never thought that if you told my cousin that I would be doing BJJ, he would think because you guys, like, I go to bodybuilding shows as a 21, 22-year-old coach. Backstage, I'm coaching people. I've invested and I've integrated myself into the bodybuilding and fitness community to the point where, you know, the judges know me, like the staff of all the, like the photographers know me, of the CPA. And I was like going down this one avenue, like trying to like do that and become a coach and blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden it was like, boom. No more like barbell bench, like all this stuff. I've been doing cleans, we've been doing snatches, like different explosive exercises and stuff. So it changed my true passion, even though it's still a passion on the side. Like when I knew Michael was getting into it, like this was like his new thing, you know what I mean? For me, my thing is still training, but I fucking love BJJ. And the fact that it's gone now, you guys have no idea. Me and Michael are fucking struggling hard. The fucking hardest time I think ever, because I was like, we were on this chase, right? We're both one stripe white belts, and we're like waiting for those stripes, and we had these plans of like becoming blue belts and being consistent. Like this guy was going
our first tournament.
Yeah, just came off our first tournament. We both medaled. This guy came second. I came third in our division. Like a couple dubs each. We both submitted a guy. Like it was like, what a high we were on. And then fucking COVID-19, like it's crazy. So I definitely have to thank this guy here for getting me into it, and my cousin Lou. Shout out Lou again. But yeah, I started with the UFC, got into mixed martial arts, and now I'm a proud member of Combat Academy and the King Kong Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu coaching staff. That's what I'm saying. And what about you, sir? How did you? We know that the Irishman started it, but give us a little bit more.
He started the big ass snowball effect for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember like in elementary school, I remember I had the first UFC game. I remember playing with like Anderson Silva, fucking remote and shit.
Yeah.
Remember that like. I was a big fan of him and George St. Pierre, him being Canadian alone, him winning the Canadian Athlete of the Year multiple times. That was a huge thing too.
He was a huge spokesperson too for Under Armour, like here in Canada, like, at national sports and shit.
Us going to buy a hockey stick or fucking GSP's fucking Superman punching someone in the face. I'm like, who is that guy? National sports, man. National sports.
I know.
GSP.
There's
I know exactly
GSP posters.
I know exactly. That's so funny.
Yeah.
Wow, that's nostalgic.
And that's the thing for me too. I knew about who he was, but I never fucked with fighting because he was all over national sports. Like that's where we got our skates sharpened and shit, right?
Yeah, that's for anyone that doesn't know. It's like just a local sports store in our area that we would go for
skate sharpening.
Yeah, just
everything.
Skate sharpening, talk equipment, and then basically there's just GSP there. Which is pretty
spokesperson for Under Armour, and Under Armour's like the biggest fucking thing back then.
Yeah. But anyways, so it started out with that. That was just kind of my introduction, I guess you could say, the crash course. But then I want to say, like university. First year in university is when I started getting really hooked into it. I remember I was watching the fake Bradley Martin.
We can play that music because it's not copyrighted, so we'll play it right now.
I think it's called MMA World, and it was just basically just the daily news of MMA. I remember just hearing the first introduction. I remember I was on World Star. I saw McGregor talking bear shit on the Go Big press conference. I briefly mentioned this in the last podcast, and you know that got me introduced to it. And then I'm like, who is this guy? And then I realized he was fucking everyone up. I'm like, okay, this is interesting. And then it was just when I first followed UFC on Instagram, I remember that changed everything because then it was on my feed, and then I just kind of kept getting more interested in there, posting highlights of people getting slept. And for me, I loved hockey. My favorite thing about hockey was hitting people, and for this guy too, he loved I've been wearing a lot of basketball jerseys.
Yeah, this guy doesn't even like fucking basketball. Let's just put it out there.
I've never resonated more with Joe Rogan ever before, and when he said,
I know
my favorite Joe Rogan quote ever. He was like, I don't give a fuck. He didn't swear, but he basically said, I don't give a fuck about basketball. If they made it illegal, I literally wouldn't give a shit. And that was so truthful for me.
I don't mind basketball.
I just like the jerseys, but for me, I need
this guy. It's his summer fits, guys.
Yeah, it's my summer fits.
It's part of the summer fits. It's nice outside. He doesn't want to get shit t-shirt tan, so he's got to wear a fucking tanker.
Exactly. But yeah, man. Just everything that.
So you started at UFC gym.
Yeah, so that was kind of like my introduction. I was like, okay, there's this UFC gym. I want to try it out. I want to learn how to defend myself, and the reason for that, a big thing about that, I remember I even wrote down a story. I was at a bar in St. Catharines, which is the city where we went to school at Brock, and my sister went there too. So we were both at a bar, and I remember, you know, just typical drunk shit with these just guys with huge egos. I think someone got like their picture mixed up, and I remember this guy, this guy was just behind my sister, and he was just like screaming at her, and he was like flipping her off and shit. I don't even know if you know this story.
I don't know this story.
He was like flipping her off and shit. And I'm extremely protective of my family. If anyone I'm close with, anyone I love with, you know, I'll easily jump in front of a bullet for anyone I care about. That's just who I am. That's how I was raised, basically, you know. But yeah, and I remember of course I stepped in. My sister didn't even notice, which is funny. But I stepped in, and I was like, I didn't get into his face or anything, but I was just like, you know, what the fuck are you doing? Like, relax. He was, you know, whenever a man does that kind of shit to a woman, it just shows all you need about him. And then I remember him. Do you know at Peps it's kind of like a little above ground, and then you go around and you can come down the stairs, and it goes to the dance floor. Yeah. I was on the dance floor right where the stairs were, and he was like, okay, I'm gonna come downstairs, and and he was like, I'm gonna fuck you up. And I remember him coming down the stairs and him coming to me, and I'm like, I'm like, okay. I'm like, I didn't know. I'm like, I have to fight this guy. I'm like, okay. But then I'm like, I have no idea what I'm doing. And I remember that feeling. I'm like, I don't know what I'm. And then Caitlin's boyfriend, Jared, actually, like just stopped the guy and he's like, get the fuck out of here, you loser. Then that guy actually got kicked out, which is funny.
Haley's a solid guy to have on your fucking team, too.
He's a good guy. But yeah, and I remember, I just remember that feeling. I was just like that was just made me sick to my stomach because I just thought of like just, you know, any situation like that. I was like, I never want to be that. I never want to be in that situation where I need to defend someone. You know, this is a really it's honest.
It's a serious topic.
It's a serious topic. It's the honest truth. That's why I got into this. That's why I got this fucking St. Michael tattoo. It's just he's basically just like the protector saint. I'm not gonna get into that. It's a whole nother story. But that, you know, that resonated with me, and I was just like, I never, like, it was just made something that made me sick to my stomach, and I never want to have that feeling again. So that made me go into the UFC gym. I tried that out. It was okay. I didn't really like the head coach because he was a foreign guy, and he was such a dick. I remember him like yelling at me because I didn't know what I was doing. I was like, buddy, it's my 3rd minute of jiu-jitsu on the mat. I'm like, I don't know what a pull guard or I don't know what a certain half guard. I'm like, what's half guard?
Yeah, that's exactly how it is for everyone.
Yeah, but I was just like, man, what the fuck? And then it was really, it was more for like, it's not adults, but it was more, I don't know what the word is. Not tough, I don't know what the word is, but basically
it wasn't gritty.
It wasn't gritty. It wasn't gritty.
It's probably like lifetime jiu-jitsu.
Exactly. Yeah. That's basically what it was.
Yeah, like it's just more for like exercise
it's
to
more
learn the art, not to like actually be competitive.
Exactly, and it was more like moms after work kickboxing class, that kind of shit. So it wasn't like I wanted, like what I pictured. I was so excited going into it. What I pictured was like, you know, fucking fighters training, sparring and shit. No, nothing like that. And then I've always wanted to go into training, but then school got in the way, and gyms for martial arts are really expensive. So I always knew that going in after when I graduated, I'd go into that. And then then going into jiu-jitsu is something the beginning of jiu-jitsu really tests who you are as a person, because you can recall like the first like few classes, like you're driving to the gym and you know you're going to get your ass kicked. You know you're going to get your arm bent, your neck twisted, your neck popped, your fucking ankle ripped off, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Mm-hmm.
You just got to keep going. You got to be relentless. You got to keep going, and then you catch. And then there's the one class you catch someone in a submission. You're like, I can progress. That's something.
I'm
that's
getting
something
better.
I'm for.
Yeah.
And then you catch someone again, or you sweep someone, and then it just a crazy high. Once you hit that little progression, you just it's a crazy snowball effect, and then you're like, I want to go 6 times a day. I want to go, you know. I was so addicted to jiu-jitsu, I wasn't even lifting weights. I was going 6 times a week. I was going as much as I can because that's all I wanted to do. That's still all I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, now, you know, I got, after the tournament and everything, got to get into shape stuff to get even better. That's what I learned.
We both fought a bit heavier than our regular weight. I would say we're both at more of like a comfortable weight. Now, if where we fight people, I fought at 195 and now I'm 176. So
I fought at 170 and I'm like 159 right now.
Yeah, so we both cut about like 10 pounds.
So, but yeah, no, it's just like it's not only like physical, it's more mental, if anything, because I've seen so many white belts while I'm there come in, get their ass kicked, and leave and never come back. That's why it's like when you
gotta be relentless.
You gotta be relentless. And that's what I knew. Like I remember all the people would be like, "Don't worry, man, just keep coming. You're in it. It's gonna come. It's gonna come one day. You're gonna have that one class."
And it's not cheesy. Like in BJJ, you actually have to do that. You have to just continue trying and giving your best effort and begging for fucking forgiveness.
Yeah, no, it's just like you just gotta be relentless, and then you just gotta keep going, and eventually it's gonna happen. And you know, then it was nice. It's cool just being looked at, knowing you can defend yourself, especially in our peers. You know, it's just like you have a respect, because people that lift weights, like everyone looks at you differently.
Yeah,
Which
because
is nice.
people are just like,
It's a respect.
this guy knows how to fuck people up, you know, like it's a different thing, and that I definitely can vouch for that, bro. Because before, like, muscles don't mean fucking shit. I'll tell you guys that right now. Big muscles don't mean fucking shit. And when I went to fucking class, they fucking taught me that, and they taught me that fucking quick times.
Yes.
They were just like, hey, muscles, let's get over here. I'll fucking rip your arm off. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Like, yeah, that sounds like a fucking good time. And you just go there, like Michael said, and you just gotta keep on going back.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, and another thing is with jiu-jitsu is just like the way you're looked at with your peers. It's just it's cool being known to being able to defend yourself. You know, God forbid if that ever came to anything. You know, you're respected people. That's even more of a reason to avoid a fight in the first place. But yeah, no, that shit's really cool. I
like that jiu-jitsu's thing is like, you don't necessarily need to hurt your opponent. You know, I know UFC is not the same, but BJJ is like, you know, you bring them to the point where you can break them if you want to, and they can't get out of it. So they have to submit themselves. Like, they have to tap to say, like, okay, like, you go any further, I'm going to stop breathing, or I'm going to get my arm broken, or whatever. So you get control of the situation, and it's about distance management, staying tight to your opponent, you know, and making sure you're not in a position that you can get hurt. Like, our coach does a really good job of balancing that, like, sport part of it, where, like, this is how you can get points, a pass and guard, whatever, and then this is how in the streets you can stop the guy from punching you if he's on top of you and you're at the bottom, which is what jiu-jitsu is mostly based off of, which is your back, being comfortable on your back, being comfortable in a position where somebody's pressing on top of you, and being able to turn that energy into your advantage, right? So yeah, it's pretty, I like that part of it too, because people don't see you as like this like asshole who's gonna fuck people up. They see you as like someone that, like Michael said, like, if it ever came down to it and you had to defend yourself, or you had to use it, you use it, and it's not to like you know, inflict pain. It's more to like control the situation, just to keep yourself safe, which is a really good message.
And a perfect example of that is when Matt Serra in Vegas, he took some drunk guy down. Some drunk guy was being an asshole at a restaurant, and he was just being a douchebag. I don't know what he was doing specifically, but he was like threatening a lot of people. And then Matt Serra actually took him down, and Matt Serra is he beat GSP for the title, so he's a badass. Yeah, exactly. He's hilarious.
Regardless.
And it was like a perfect example of that video. I'll put it up there. Of when to use jiu-jitsu for self-defense and when to control a situation, instead of, you know, you could have just spinning backfist that guy into the shadow realm, Jorge Masvidal. But, you know, instead he just took him down. He just controlled his wrists, and then the guy was just fucking didn't know what to do. That's the thing. It's just like, on the feet, anyone has a puncher's chance. That's where you gotta take everyone seriously. But in jiu-jitsu, you take someone down, you know, that's our world. You don't know what to do. You don't know how to get out of a certain. You don't know anything. If you have no training, that's the back to the part. Saying. That's the part where that saying comes in. Like, one class, like, of just learning the basics, the fundamentals, is gonna help you so much, and then you learn the more details, more specifics, and then it's a whole nother world, man. I'm telling you right now. Because just a quick note is, you know, I've rolled with very, very big guys, and I've caught them in something only because they have no training. So it'd be a different story if they had training. But, you know, I remember before rolling with them, I was like, oh my god, I don't know, this guy's huge. He's fucking, you know, there's the juice head guys, and I was like, oh fuck, man, this guy's so strong. And then he just didn't know what he was doing, and it was just like he didn't know weight distribution. Yes, he was so easy to sweep. You know, it's just shit like that. So that just rolling, just facing that fear of, like, because that, like, kind of just resembled me of just like the big guy at the bar. I'm like, oh my god, like fuck, what am I gonna do? And that just like showed all the work that not only me, Jules, that we put into it just to prove ourselves wrong, you know, with that shit, any doubts. But yeah, that's the thing with jiu-jitsu. It's just like, you know, with me, I had my insecurities. I was very introverted, you know, with all that kind of shit. And then jiu-jitsu just helps me break out of that with all the life lessons it teaches you. You know, you self-doubt. Going to my first tournament, I was petrified of getting submitted in the first 10 seconds in front of, you know, my girlfriend, my sister, my best friends, you know, but you know, that didn't happen. You know, we trained our asses off and proved ourselves wrong, proved a lot of people wrong, which is really cool.
Yeah, guys, that shit's scary as fuck. Like, it's
scary, but now it's like, I want to now,
we want to do
coming
more.
Second, like I want to face the guy that beat me so badly, and I want to smash him.
Yeah.
Out of respect.
Yeah, of course. It's
out of
always
respect.
a respect thing after.
But I just coming second.
You'd love to have another roll.
Dude, I lose sleep over that shit. I didn't sleep at all. I had to take a personal day the next day because I couldn't sleep.
Yeah.
It was like crazy.
Oh, I was just brutally beaten up. Like, my body was so sore.
Yeah,
like,
that too.
Michael also rolled, you rolled twice or 3 times? I rolled like 5 times.
3 or 4, I don't remember.
Yeah. Well, no, mine was no breaks. That's what it was.
Yeah.
I had like no fucking breaks for the last 3 fights.
He had more. You had a lot of people in your division.
Yeah.
I didn't have a lot of people.
The organization of it was fucked, but
it was an
I was just so sore the next day. Like, I fucking was destroyed. Anyways. Yeah. So, yeah, that's our jiu-jitsu story, guys. Yeah, we're definitely excited to get back at combat once everything, you know, gets back to normal. Is it going to be weird? Probably. So we're just going to, you know, take it by year, see how they even open it up. So.
But yeah, so just to close out this podcast, we're just going to quickly cover 250. So it's headlined by the female MMA GOAT Amanda Nunes and fellow Canadian Felicia Spencer.
Yeah. The lioness.
Just fucking, you imagine if she pulled off an upset?
Yeah, like she's a big girl, man.
Rousey Holm. She fought Cyborg. She's tough, but we'll get into that.
Yeah.
You know, it's actually a great card. One fighter I wanted to talk about is Chase Hooper. Chase Hooper is Ben Askren's son. Ben Askren's son, Sean O'Malley's brother, who's also fighting. He's not actually. They're all related because they have curly hair. Basically. Exactly. That's the ongoing joke in the UFC. They actually just posted a funny Instagram video that I can plug in there. But Chase Hooper's actually our age, which is crazy. So it's always crazy seeing a fighter that's your age.
No, I know.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, same thing in the NHL too.
Exactly.
I feel like, you know,
the NHL, Sidney Crosby's captain at our age. The youngest captain.
I know, and we're getting old now. Fucking, I'm 22 years old. Fuck. That's
22, yeah.
Fucking old, guys.
If my mom heard us say that, she'd fucking hit me with a slipper so hard.
That's.
We're European, by the way, in case you guys don't know.
Yeah,
so
we do get hit.
No, we don't.
It's okay.
we get our lessons taught. But anyways, so Chase Hooper, excited for him to come back. Sean O'Malley is coming back. Sugar Show. He's facing Eddie Wineland. He's a vet. Sean O'Malley says that, you know, 2 fights he didn't get a title shot, which is ridiculous because I don't even think I'm pretty sure he's not even ranked. But anyways, he's an exciting fighter. I can't wait to see him back.
He's
great follow on Instagram. He's hilarious.
Yeah, I watch his podcast.
Yeah.
The Timbo and Sugar Show.
Yeah, you might lose a few brain cells listening to that. But
it would be like if we were having this MMA conversation, but like absolutely fried out of our minds. Like, that's basically, these guys are weed advocates to like the fucking nines. Like, they love weed. I bet you Sean fights fucking Stone probably.
He can't.
No, I'm joking.
He would if he could. Basically, that's probably what we're saying.
Exactly.
But Neil Magny's fighting. It's gonna be he's fighting Anthony Martin.
Don't know who the fuck that is.
Yeah, I don't really know who that is.
Can't know them all, guys.
The fight that I'm most excited about on this card is Aljamain Sterling and Corey the Sandman Sandhagen. That guy, he's been known to be the Dark Horse. of the bantamweight division, and Sterling is he's
Pretty well known guy.
Yeah, he's like number 2, I think. He's really high up there. But yeah, Sandman is, let's see, he's ranked 4th. Aljamain Sterling is second.
So that's a big fight.
And so the interesting thing is, since Henry Cejudo retired, that's vacant. So Marlon, they're trying to set up Petra, Jan, and Aldo for the vacant belt. Which, I don't know, fucking Aldo, I don't know why.
That's a horrible fight, anyways.
It's gonna be a good fight, but it just doesn't make sense for Aldo.
Yeah, exactly.
It should be like Marlon or something, because Marlon beat Aldo.
Exactly.
Even if it was controversial. Anyways. But yeah, so supposedly this fighter, the winner of the Sterling Sandhagen fight is gonna get the winner of the Jan Aldo championship fight. But yeah, no, that's gonna be sick. Sterling is really well rounded. He got that crazy like banana split finish, who Zabit gets all the credit for, but he actually got it before Zabit on the same card. So
that's crazy.
Shout out Aljamain Sterling for that. And Corey Sandhagen, man, he is, as Joe Rogan would say, a motherfucker. He's a motherfucker because there's a free fight on YouTube, in case anyone doesn't know this. UFC puts free fights on YouTube to promote some the fighters that are coming on upcoming cards, which I highly recommend. But yeah, I was watching the one they put up, and he's a really confident fighter. He's his style, he keeps his hands low, he moves his head, constant movement. He's really good on the ground. He had, in that fight, he got taken down, and then he had like a reverse triangle choke. It's hard to explain, but I'll put a picture up there. He's very well rounded. He has great hands, great attacks. Really excited to see how that's gonna go, because that's just the bantamweight division is actually really low key stacked.
It is, yeah.
It doesn't get talked about because it's a lower weight class, but it's not flyweight, so we're good. But yeah, then another fight, the co-main is the return of Cody No Love Garbrandt and Rafael Assunção. So Cody's coming back after, I think,
a while.
A while, but also he's been TKO'd 3 times in a row. TKO, KO, whatever you want to say. Twice to Dillashaw, then once to Pedro Munoz, I believe. He's a brawler, so I hope he fights this fight smarter, because he has some of the fastest hands I've ever seen in my life. He has crazy speed.
He
great
sleeps
kicks,
guys. Holy shit.
Sleeps guys. I really want to see him back in the win column. And Rafael Assunção he's a great fighter too. So it's gonna be an interesting test. I just really want him to, fight more with the brain and not just get into a brawl, get sucked into a brawl and just get caught, because I'm pretty sure it's the whatever hand it is, he just leaves his chin exposed and it's so easy to get hit. So yeah, I just wanted to fight smarter. He left Team Alpha Male, so he's in a new camp, and I've seen a lot of memes about him making fun of his chin because he actually grew out a beard. So they're like, oh, his protection for his fucking chin, and it's like literally him with a beard now.
That's true.
Which is pretty funny. But anyways, yeah, so hopefully that goes well. That's gonna be a great fight. And then the
main event.
The main event, Amanda Nunes the GOAT against Felicia Spencer, the Canadian.
It's hard to bet against Amanda Nunes, guys, but this one, could be a close one, could be a smashing. Who knows? Amanda Nunes has the craziest resume.
She's
fucking ever. She's knocked out Ronda Rousey, Holly Holmes, Chris Cyborg.
She's beat
everyone who ever touched the belt ever.
Isn't that crazy? She's beat every woman's champion.
Bantamweight.
Yeah, she's beat fucking Valentina twice. Rousey slept. That was my favorite. That was one of my favorite, because I hate Rousey because of what she said about Canadians. She bashed Canadians.
Yeah. Don't fuck with Canadians.
Don't fuck with Canadians, motherfucker. And then she got smashed, or she smashed her. Sorry. She smashed everyone. Holly Holm fucking head kicked her.
She smashed everybody, guys. Don't worry.
Smash your boy. But
Felicia Spencer's a tough Canadian girl. She's thick. She can fucking hit hard. No, she's
thick
Well-
boy bike club. Shout
well,
out Brendan Schaub.
because Amanda's big, right? Like she
Yeah.
got muscle on her, but Felicia, like it looks like she can take a punch from her, but we'll have to
She
see.
fought Cyborg and she fucking put up a great fight. So she's really tough. She proved that in that fight. And something about this fight is that if Amanda Nunes wins and defends her belt, she's the first fighter, she'll make history, to be the first fighter to defend 2 belts in 2 different weight classes at the same time. Which is pretty fucking badass.
Yeah,
So
because other people have held them simultaneously, but not defended both of them at the same time.
yeah. So that'd be really cool to see someone do that. That'd be amazing. That would be a lot of a lot of progress with the sport, just to prove a lot of people what they can do. And then the next thing,
Especially the girls, fucking girl power, guys. This girl,
Fucking 2020
she's so
girl power.
she's so fucking motivating. She's like, I want to be the
she's
best
amazing.
in the world, and to fucking see that, you should watch the Embedded series. It's fucking crazy. I watched it. It was like an hour, 45 minutes or something like that, and it fired me the fuck up. And she's a fucking bad bitch. She's a badass bitch. She's called the Lioness, and you know, Team Bionic's the lion. I'm like, this girl's a fucking badass. She'll beat the shit out of fucking anyone. So fucking, I hope that she sets history. That's dope. I think Felicia Spencer has a chance, but I think she fucking gets ran through, and she's gonna look like a fucking truck hitter if she wants to fight for a long time. So that'll be good for her face. To fight fucking Amanda Nunes. I wouldn't fight her with a fucking gun in my hand. Jesus Christ.
It's so true though.
I wouldn't fight her if I had a fucking loaded shotgun. Fuck.
She'd eat the bullets.
Yeah.
She'd eat the shotgun.
She's like one of the, yeah, she's one of those, like, yeah.
She's a motherfucker. She's a motherfucker. But yeah,
Can't wait to do the post fight on that.
yeah,
Jesus
if
Christ.
Felicia wins.
Okay, guys, we gotta end the video here because my camera's gonna die. Fucking scary. I caught that shit
Yeah,
quick
I
times.
just looked at
That
you.
was our last topic, so
Yeah, so it's perfect timing. Anyways, guys,
thank you for watching.
thanks for tuning
again.
in. Like, comment, subscribe, comment.
Subscribe,
Yeah.
post notifications, guys, so that when we post, you
Yes.
hear about it.
Comment any questions or any topics you want us to cover. And we will see you next week for our podcast number 4 on the way to top. Road to 100 subscribers.
Let's go.
Get us there. Help us get us there.
All right, guys.
See you
Catch
guys.
later.